Welcome to Communicating the Value of GIS in Your Organization, How to Measure Return on Investment. My name is Adam Carnow. I'm a community evangelist at Esri out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been a GIS practitioner for over 25 years. And in addition to experience in the private sector, I've also worked in the public sector as well as academia. And I've been with Esri for over 11 years. I work with Esri staff, partners, ArcGIS users, and the GIS community to help them do more with their GIS investment and make a difference in their communities. So why are we here? I'm sure that you're very busy at work and could use additional resources like more budget, staff, infrastructure, training, events, or time. Well, in order to get those things, you must convince the people that control those resources to invest them in you and your GIS program. The bottom line is that value equals success. If you want to be successful and gain access to additional resources, you've got to produce value for that organization, and you've got to communicate that success so that people are aware of your impact, which really means recognized value. Because if you're contributing value to the organization and nobody's aware of it, then it's as if that value didn't exist. So we want to make sure that not only are we creating value, but that we're communicating it to everybody, and so we're therefore recognized for that value, and that's when we really achieve success. So when it comes to annual budgeting time, those that control that process are asking every department, what have you done for me lately? It's a competition for resources. So communication of your value to those that control the budget is critical as they try to figure out how to allocate the limited resources that they have. Now they've got to justify their budgeting decisions, so you must communicate clear metrics and vivid success stories. So there are numerous other reasons for the need to measure and share your value. Number one, to stimulate the expansion of GIS within and external to your organization. GIS provides benefits, so the more people using it, the more benefits realized. So you should always be focusing on the expansion of GIS. To celebrate and publicize your successes. Successes are a big thing, and so you need to make sure that you're celebrating them and you're making people aware of them. They can help you celebrate. To reinforce the need for investment. This is critical year-round, not just during the budget preparation process. And to provide accountability, to show and take credit for the value you generate. So what does this look like? Well, let me introduce you to some of the planning and development services of Kenton County, Kentucky GIS team. From left, there's Ryan Kent, the principal GIS data analyst, Lewis Hill, the senior geospatial data analyst, and Tricia Brush, the GIS director. They're one of the most innovative, progressive, award-winning GIS teams in the local government industry, and they have a great story. Back in 2008, during the recession, their county was hit hard, and one day Tricia got a call from her supervisor during the budgeting process that due to the county deficit, she needed to prepare a presentation for the Planning Commission to justify their budget. They were being considered for elimination from the budget. Tricia prepared her presentation and saved her team, but that was her wake-up call. Since then, she has reinvented the group to make sure that that never happens again. So let's see how she's done that. This is a comprehensive strategy that includes measuring KPIs or key performance indicators, branding, marketing, social media, communications, presentations, certifications like GISP and AICP for staff. Now, these are key as they validate your knowledge as part of a professional community. Awards, volunteering in community organizations, etc. These initiatives are designed to raise their visibility so that everyone knows who they are and what are their contributions. Their scope goes beyond GIS. Multiple staff are active in Toastmasters International, which is a club focused on communication, public speaking, and leadership. And their emergency management specialist was asked to serve on the board of directors for the local emergency planning committee. Tricia focuses on mentoring and turning her staff into well-rounded superstars that give back to the community. This is their publicly accessible website, linkgis.org, where you can explore their applications, shop for maps and data, and contact the staff. It also features a series of articles that highlight their work and the impact it's making on the organization and the community. You can see their branding as LinkGIS. This helps set them apart and provide a recognizable identity. As LinkGIS, one of the nation's pioneering GIS systems, they serve 3 counties in northern Kentucky, Kenton, Campbell, and Pendleton. They have another website called the NKY Map Lab that's used to highlight how they're using GIS to support the county's planning process and facilitate better understanding by the public and its elected leaders. In 2016, they won the Kentucky chapter of the American Planning Association, or APA, Outstanding Use of Innovative Technology Award for the NKY Map Lab initiative. Other similar initiatives are their NKY Drone Lab and NKY Dev Lab. In that same year, the county's comprehensive plan called Direction 2030 won a National Award of Excellence from APA. Now, the Direction 2030 website is a digital interactive experience to communicate their comprehensive plan. Now, most comprehensive plans are huge documents distributed in PDF format. Now, this one is very engaging and contains interactive web maps powered by ArcGIS that can be updated as the plan is implemented. Now, for each project highlighted on the NKY Map Lab site, they produce a beautiful large format PDF map that tells the story of the project. Now, they're very proud of their graphic design and cartography skills and are constantly working on improving them. And the team isn't just the map makers for these projects. They also help collect the data and multimedia elements like photos and videos. They also produce a story map interactive web app for each of the lab's projects. Okay, so I'm sure you're wondering, why is this such a big deal? We all make nice maps and story maps. But the difference here is the impact of these. They focus on vivid storytelling and local geographic context. They help engage the audience in new ways, and they're making a difference. For instance, this story map was used by the city of Erlanger to demonstrate the need for the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet to make immediate improvements to that road. After publication and presentation of the map and story map, within a matter of weeks, they were awarded a total of $1.8 million to fund the project. Check out this quote from the mayor. Now, that is a great example of providing value and gaining executive support. It's also an important lesson that your GIS-based solution you provide does not have to be overly sophisticated and complex, involving lots of spatial analysis and custom coding. The power of a well-constructed map and story map that conveys critical information can really be a game changer. Here's another example where one of their projects led to a significant return. They put this story map together for the city of Fort Mitchell. Again, the city was seeking funding for a road project. One of the city's busiest intersections experiences frequent congestion and has been identified as one of the Cincinnati metro area's high-priority transportation projects. The project's primary deliverable was this story map that served as a single point of reference for city officials, citizens, and business owners. The story map documented traffic congestion conditions, existing land use conditions, future land use plans, and demographics. It included interactive maps, a summary of business operating in the area, and video interviews detailing the impacts of traffic on the area, especially to the businesses. The effort was successful and the city got $250,000 from the state. Again, here's another great quote, this time from Fort Mitchell's mayor. So you can see that their work is directly tied to executives and what's at the top of their list of initiatives, and they're bringing home serious results. They also have a marketing plan and budget that includes giveaways to help spread their brand and their message. That includes calendars, buttons, USB drives, etc. Now, I've not seen this before. Again, this is driven by their branding. They also have a social media strategy that includes an RSS newsfeed that you can subscribe to, a Facebook page, 2 Twitter accounts, and the staff are very active on LinkedIn. Patricia and her staff share their stories and presentations at numerous events, including Esri events, like our user conference, the GIS Managers Open Summit, and the GeoDesign Summit. And they've received many awards, including an Esri Special Achievement in GIS, or SAG Award, in 2017. Awards are great ways to show your colleague your value from the external community and are a great way to get notoriety internally. Now, they validate the value of your work and show that it's appreciated by the community. They also make the leaders of your organization look good. Everyone loves to fill a trophy case, so look for award opportunities and apply for them, and seek to win one each year. We've also highlighted their work via Esri articles and case studies. This one is about their Map Lab initiative and its success. So let's go back to this earlier slide. Do you think the Kenton County Group is successful? They sure are, because they're delivering recognized value. And do you think when it comes to budgeting time that those in charge of the resources are asking Tricia this question? They aren't, because every day, via multiple methods and initiatives, they're proving their value to the organization and community. Now, here's an important point to make. Even though you would think that everyone understands the value LinkGIS brings to their organization and that they can relax, that's not the case. A turnover in executive leadership has triggered another call for Tricia to defend her group and program. So she's gotten even more innovative in proving their work. She's now reviewing legislation to tie their work to these regulatory requirements. Here's an example of that work. Now, I know it's hard to read, but this is Tricia's report. She has aligned their services with specific pieces of legislation, then shown what year they began providing the service, the primary benefactors of the service, and the source of funding. Additionally, they're looking at the monetary value of the data they provide to other agencies as another way to prove their value. So what can you do? Follow the great example from Kenton County. Create a strategy and plan to convince the leaders in your organization to invest resources into you and your GIS program. Show them the business value that you're bringing and can bring to the table. This means measuring your impact and communicating it. Here's the agenda for this session. We're going to talk about measuring the benefits of GIS, some calculation methods, go over some examples of success, and then end it up with some conclusion, resources, and a call to action. Let's get started by talking about measuring the benefits of GIS. GIS provides benefits, so we need to make sure we're always expanding its use. The more people using GIS, the more benefits and value they realize. It's important to keep these benefits in mind as goals for our work. Let's look at a list of some benefits. GIS can help you achieve objectives, help you improve outcomes in customer service, can help you avoid or reduce costs, can help you increase efficiency and productivity, can help you assure or increase revenue, protect staff and citizens, support regulatory response, and enhance customer satisfaction and competitive advantage. Now, I really like this PRISM model of benefits from a 2009 ARC user article. I like how it categorizes the benefits into 4 categories of finances, customers, processes, and outputs. So these need to be in the front of our minds every day in the work that we're doing, and we need to seek to accomplish as many of these benefits every day and in every project. And then we need to let people know once the project's complete and we have realized them, we need to categorize these benefits and then publicize them out. All right, so now let's talk about some calculation methods. So what is return on investment? It is a powerful tool for evaluating existing information systems and making informed decisions on software acquisitions and other projects. The formula to calculate ROI is that the percent of ROI is equal to the total net benefits divided by the total costs multiplied by 100. There are different ways to calculate ROI. Some use this percentage method, others use a raw number like dollars or units of time saved. If you want more information about how to formally produce an ROI report, check out this book, The Business Benefits of GIS, an ROI Approach from Esri Press. If you're looking for another good resource on how to calculate and document ROI, you should check out this video from Wade Fluce. Wade is the Director of Enterprise Systems at the Utah Department of Natural Resources and has spent a lot of time working on GIS ROI. He's authored several articles about it. This video presents the method he used to calculate and document the GIS ROI that they generate. In the video, he shares this spreadsheet he's created that can help you calculate and document your GIS ROI. It would really be a good best practice to calculate the ROI for every single project you do. And that way you create a portfolio and a history and a tradition and an image of someone that's constantly providing value to the organization. Now, here's some other ways to look at value. Here's an ArcGIS usage dashboard from the University of Michigan. And it allows them to track the number and growth of registered users, unique logins over time, and visualize users by college, school, and degree program. And they recently published a blog post on this in GeoNet to share how they did it. This really gives them insight as to who's using and how they're using it across the university. They can then engage with their users and see how else they can help them or expand their use. Johnson City, Tennessee, they have a dashboard that tracks their data maintenance in their enterprise geodatabase. It shows the total number of records, feature classes, features, and editing activity over time. It also helps with data quality by identifying empty tables and those without editor tracking enabled. And this can be helpful for showing the level of effort required for data maintenance. I really like this dashboard from Annie Anand, the Enterprise GIS Manager for Dallas, Texas. She uses it to analyze her GIS staff's time so she can see what type of work they're doing and for whom. It shows their work backlog, percentage of time spent working for each department, GIS usage by department, and what kind of work they're doing. Like, are they doing data management? Are they doing mapping and visualization, analytics, field mobility, decision support, citizen engagement, etc.? Now, this provides great insight that allows you to proactively adjust your workloads and identify opportunities for more of a certain type of work or where you may need additional staff and or training. Another initiative that they do at Kenton County is they participate in what I've not seen elsewhere, and that's they participate in the county's financial transparency process by this interactive web-based dashboard that shows monthly key performance indicators, such as the number of GIS data and map requests that have been processed each month, or the average number of minutes visitors have spent on their GIS website, the total number of hits received by their GIS website for the year. Now, they had over 260,000 hits last year, which was an increase of 33% over the last year. Their revenue from data and map sales, the linear feet of maps produced, and the amount of data that was provided to customers. Now, this is a really great resource as it's regularly showing their performance in quantifiable metrics or KPIs, key performance indicators. Let's look at some more examples of success. Now, COVID-19 has been a massive disruption to almost every organization, and it's clearly a priority for all businesses and organizations. There's some really great examples of how some organizations were able to quickly deliver value to their businesses using GIS. I'm sure you recognize this dashboard. This is perhaps the most visible map in the world right now. It's the COVID-19 Global Map and Dashboard from Johns Hopkins University. It was created by a PhD student in Shandong in about 8 hours. Once it was publicly released in January, it went viral, no pun intended, really quickly, and it now gets over 1 billion hits per day. That's almost 14,000 hits per second. And it's designed to handle over 2 billion hits per day. And they've also released one for the United States that presents information at the county level. And what's interesting about this is how do you calculate the ROI for these incredibly important resources? They're providing critical information in a near real-time manner that is accessible to anyone. People from all over the world are using it to make incredibly tough life or death decisions. And that's an important point, that not all ROI can be measured by time or dollars saved. Here's an example of an executive user of the dashboard. This tweet is from the acting Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Ken Cuccinelli. Here's a photo of U.S. Vice President Mike Pence with a dashboard in the background when he visited the U.S. Coronavirus Operations Center. Now, the World Health Organization, they've also produced a COVID-19 dashboard, as has the U.S. Census Bureau. Let's show some local ones for Utah. This is the Utah Department of Public Safety, Division of Emergency Management, COVID-19 dashboard. And here's a hub site from the city of St. George, Utah. And here's the city of St. George's COVID-19 dashboard. Here's a planning impact report from Washington County, Utah. And here's a coronavirus response hub from the Navajo Epidemiology Center. Now, what's critical is to look at these applications and distill down 4 key things that they have in common. Number 1, they're configurable. You didn't have to write code. Number 2, they're user-centric. They're designed for the user. They are data-driven, so the data drives the application, and they're very simple. Those are key lessons to learn on if you're going to put apps like this out to the public, is to follow these 4 categories. Let's look at some more examples. Let's look at some from Tallahassee, Leon County, Florida GIS group. Here's an example of a story map that they used for one of their annual presentations to their leadership. It's full of their accomplishments and clear examples of how they're providing business value to the organization and community. Now, this is a best practice. For any GIS manager out there or leader of a group, you should be presenting at least once a year to the executives in your organization on everything you've accomplished as well as your plans for next year. That way they're aware, again, of your value. Now, here's how the Tallahassee Leon County GIS group increased some efficiency. They updated and revised their Python automation routines. And the scheduled processing time savings in this process is nearly equivalent to having 3 additional full-time employees. I'm sure everybody out there has automation scripts. Have you ever looked at what value you're deriving from them? And then you need to communicate that. That's pretty powerful stuff. They increase efficiency by integrating their enterprise GIS with an enterprise business system, providing a new capability. Their integration was with CityWorks, their work order and asset management system, which allowed staff to perform intelligent and cost-effective inspection, monitoring, and condition assessment. Now, this is key. You should always seek to integrate your enterprise GIS with other enterprise systems because it brings value to both systems. They provided a new service using ArcHydro tools to more accurately model their stormwater system. The results of these efforts enhance the decision-making abilities of the government staff to better perform their jobs and improve conditions for residents. Let's look at some more examples from Kenton County. Now they're increasing efficiency. In an article on their Link GIS site, they cover a success story where they worked with Pendleton County Public Works to align works projects in the field. And their work provided savings of $5,000 in materials plus 2 full days of work by a field group. And they generate revenue through map sales. For the last year, that business brought in over $265,000. This example is about increasing efficiency and providing new services. This story map describes how they use Acella's road right-of-way management system integrated with their enterprise GIS to coordinate infrastructure improvements in the road right-of-way. The story includes details on a return investment of over $270,000 in the first 8 years. Since then, they've moved this workflow using other tools, so they're now saving an additional $17,000 a year on the software. They maintain data for agencies they partner with, and sometimes they provide that GIS data to entities on behalf of the partners at no charge. But they wanted to track the value of that data so that everyone's aware of the value they're providing. Since July 2017, that total is over $285,000. They're providing new services by starting a drone program in 2017. They were busy with drone work since the moment they started this program. Customers came to them. They did not have to market it internally. In the first 2 years of the program, they've completed 45 projects in all these different areas. And this has included 203 flights. They've flown 189 flight miles and 32 hours of flight time. And the return on investment for this program is over $50,000 in these first 3 years. Okay, so time to wrap it up. On to the conclusion, some resources, and a call to action. Bottom line is to measure your impact and broadcast it via any available channels. Follow the example from Kenton County, Kentucky, and the others we've shown. This needs to be part of your regular routine. Communicate in clear language. Tell a story. Present the problem or challenge. Talk about how it was solved. Explain the benefits. Remember that it's not about the technology. It's about the impact the technology delivers and building an image and reputation for providing business value. Here's some resources. This is a really good report from the Harvard Kennedy School Ash Center for Democratic Governance and Innovation. It's about why every government executive should care about data. It includes in-depth analysis with examples of the generation of public value through analytics. It includes an analytical framework that uses 3 categories of public value: financial, operational, and public trust in government. If you want detailed information on a comprehensive methodology to build a business case for your GIS, check out this book from Esri Press, The Business Benefits of GIS, an ROI Approach. Also check out the video from Wade Cluse on his GIS ROI documentation method. Now, I've developed this GIS ROI story map. It contains a catalog of examples and other information, all available in a single web app. Now let us help tell your story. You're probably familiar with our publications like Arc News, Arc User, and Arc Watch. We also have numerous newsletters, case studies, podcasts, etc. If you'd like to submit an article, you can do so via this website. We are always looking for new stories to tell and show how people are deriving value from the platform and delivering it to their organizations. So contact us at this URL and tell us about your stories, and we'll help publicize them. Okay, so it's time for your call to action. Please take the information and strategies I've shown today to measure and communicate your value to the organization and community. Now, here's a great quote from my colleague, Bill Meehan, that does a great job at inspiring us about the potential and purpose of GIS. Enterprise GIS can transform the business by lowering costs and hassles, greatly improving decision-making, and communicating to executives in ways they've never seen before. Can't be said much better than that. You should print this out and put it on the wall and look at it every day for inspiration and seek to accomplish it. Thanks very much for your time. Here's my contact information, my email address. I'm very active on GeoNet, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Please reach out and connect with me. I love talking to users in the community, I love helping them, I love sharing their stories, and helping them learn from others. So thanks very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the conference.